Hey traders, welcome back to my channel. I'm Madi B from BloomFX and let's have a look together on the pairs that I will follow and trade next week. I would like to start with Bitcoin, but before this I want to say that as I have been accustomed to in the recent months, and this time my technical analysis had an accuracy rate of over 95%, and I will try to continue to keep this percentage as long as possible. And now let me continue with the Bitcoin. And as I said last week's, it forced and closed for the third consecutive months over the 0.5 Fibonacci level, which should make us think of a buy. Okay, and this week Bitcoin closes the week above the very strong resistance, okay, around 42,400. Okay, and now because the movement was very strong, I expect a retreat around 46,848 to the support of 42. Okay, and then however I can say that any closure even for one day, the over 48, okay, which is around this area, it makes me think that is going to open the way for the psychological threshold of 50K, okay, and even higher. So what I can say is that you have to wait and see exactly the perfect moment, okay, but pretty sure that the price is going to continue to go up. Okay, please give a like if you find this idea useful, and if you trade and have some Bitcoin in your pocket. Let me continue with another interesting let's say project, okay, which is Eurusd. And what I can say that starting this week I will start the technical analysis on a project that I find more and more interesting. Okay, Eurusd rejected from the Fibonacci 786 area. Okay, here we have the Fibonacci and also here, but we can have here looking on the monthly chart. Okay, so as I said, it rejected the Fibonacci area of 786 on the monthly chart. And now in the long run, it continues to force 147 or maybe 150 area, okay? However, in the short term, I bet on a rejection from 126 or 129, okay, to the area of 97 or maybe 102. And from there, imagine that the price is going to shoot up again, okay, to 150, which is around here. If we are going to look on the weekly chart, we can see that the price can reject from 0.5 and then come down, and then from here to go to 618 area. Okay, please give a like if you find also this idea useful. And now let's continue with EURUSD and the other pairs, which I will trade them next week. Okay, so EURUSD, we have the weekly and the monthly chart, and as I said last week, it went up to the area of 1.19500, okay, from where it went down again. Okay, and as you can see on the chart of the 1 week, I expect that in the next period for EURUSD that will range between the area of 1.18 and 1.20. Okay, following that, the first weekly closing above these values to give you the trend of the next period. But what I can say that this week, as I said last week's, EURUSD has come down, okay, and it's heading towards the second target that I said a few weeks ago. Okay, this if you remember, And this week I expect a rejection from this area of 1.17100 area, or maybe 1.17500 area, and an ascent to 1.18500 area, okay, and even more, maybe 1.19, and then the price to come back down again to 1.616, okay, and this is my final target. So it's going to be easier for you if you look here at my chart, also on the weekly and also on the monthly. And as you can see here, we have like a double, we have like an M, and I believe that the price is going to reject from this area and to continue to go down. Please give a like if you find my idea useful, and try to trade only with a confirmation. And now let's continue with the EURJPY. And with the EURJPY, we have the weekly and the monthly chart, as we can see here. And if you remember last week's, I said that EJ is going to close for 1 month and 1 week below 132.500 area, and even if maybe let's say the price will go up 100 or maybe 120 pips, I expect that in the next period it will reach the level of 618 Fibonacci area, which is 129.034. Okay, this week, remember, EURJPY reached the area of 129.034, as I said last week's. Okay, from where it rejected and closed over the Fibonacci area of 786. Here, if you look on the weekly chart, okay, from the third week in a row, okay, in the next period I expect to make a range between the area of 129,500 and 130,700, and I will expect a break of this range in closing above or below these values on the 1 week chart. Okay, let's see exactly what it's going to do. We have these two beautiful possibilities, but if we are waiting exactly for the right moment and for the confirmation, I'm pretty sure that we can have some really nice trades in profit. Okay, please give a like if you find my idea useful, and if you want, also you can leave a comment. Let's continue with USDJPY. And USDJPY, we have again the weekly and the monthly chart, and this week, as I said, okay, you have to read and look back on my analysis. I said that UJ touched and forced the Fibonacci 0.5 area, from where has a strong rejection. Okay, and this week, as I said, USDJPY rejected from the Fibonacci area of 0.5. It went down in the area of 108.600 area, okay, from where it rejected again and goes down to the Fibonacci 0.5 area, making a range between these values. Okay, in the next period I expect that this range to continue, and I will play between the how you say, the Fibonacci 0.5 area and 0.382. So we have to look on the monthly chart, and I said that the price is going to do a range between these two values here. Okay, until the first closing on the chart of the 1 week outside these values. So when the price is going to close above or under these values, we have to wait and see on the weekly chart, and like this we can take some decisions. Maybe it's going to be a buy or a sell. This depends a lot where the price is going to close. But before that, try to remember that the price is going to range between these two zones here. Okay, please give a like if you find my idea useful, and please give a comment if you trade USDJPY. Let's continue with GU. And about GU, we have again the weekly and the monthly chart. And as I said last week, you can see the W pattern for a week. It's almost perfect, this one here, okay? Respected, okay? And the GU has already reached level 1 that I proposed last week, okay? If you remember, and also here you can see on the monthly chart this week, even if it will remain in the range of this area because of the volume in the market, which is extremely low during this month, my target for the next period remains the 1.35 area, which is here, okay, around this zone. And continuing the idea, I promoted it the last weeks, okay? So please go back and look at my analysis, also what I said a few weeks ago about GU, okay? And try to trade only if you find a confirmation, okay? Because only like this you can become profitable. Let me continue with USD CAD. And USD CAD, as I said in the last weeks, climbed again to the area of 1.24700 area, as I said last weeks, and so on. See where it has a very strong rejection, forming a range in this area, okay? And also here. So in the next period, I will wait for a close for at least 1 day or over 1.24900 area, from where I will look for a buy until my final target of 1.29, which is around here, okay? So it's easy to follow what I have said here, okay? This week USD CAD rejected and closed all above 1.24700 area, okay, as I said last week. And even if it's going to reject from this area, from 1.26300 area, I will force and 1.24700 area. I will continue to stay in a buy until the 1.29, which is my final target. So I believe that the price is going to play a little bit around this area, and then the price to shoot up. Please try to trade only with a confirmation, and please give a like if you find my idea useful. Let me continue with the last 3 pairs, and one of them is GJ, or let's say one of my favorite. And as I said last week, if you remember, GJ rejected and closed the month below the trend line, as I said, okay, and has already made 400 pips from the 700 or maybe 1000 pips forecasted a few weeks ago. And remember that this week, as I said a few weeks ago about GJ, that it made the 700 pips which I announced, okay, and rejected from the target area of number 1, okay, which is here. You see that we have the number 1 and the number 2. So I expect a period of a range and a retest from the trend line, okay, but at the first close, even for 1 day below the area of 148, I will enter sell until 142, okay? So if you trade GJ, wait for the best confirmation and enter into the trade, okay? Please give a like if you find my idea useful. And let me see what's going on with gold. And about gold, I can say that as I said last week, since March, after 4 months, which all my analysis about gold were almost perfect, even though I had many objections and many messages of disapproval. And as I said, gold went down even below the 1774 area, and now it is at the Fibonacci level of 0.5, from where I expected and reject and rise towards 1836. Remember that this week, from my last analysis made on the 4th of May, gold climbed and reached 1836. Okay, as I said, from where he rejected and returned again in the Fibonacci area of 0.5, which is here. Okay, from where the price it went up again towards 1794 and even 1836. However, remember that a closure even for 1 day under 1759 makes me think of a sell up to the Fibonacci area of 618, okay, which is around here. So try to trade. I repeat myself all the time and say that try to trade only with a confirmation. And let me go with the last pair that I follow and trade next week. And what I can say that, as I said last week's, a closure even for 1 day over the Fibonacci 618 area means a buy to until the Fibonacci area of 786. Okay. As he did and where he rejected. And remember that this week, as I said in the last analysis made on the 4th of July, Dixie reached the target number 1, which I said from where it rejected to the resistance area of 92,600 area, which is here. Okay, from here I expect a small retreat, and then we'll continue to abide to the target, the number 2. Okay, this only to complete the W, which you can see it here. And what I can say is that again, please try to trade only with a confirmation. Thank you so much for watching. Wish you a pleasant week and a profitable one. Take care of you.